delve into the world of helping ourselves. And I know what you're saying to yourself. I don't think the show ever does that. No, it does. It does. Honestly, it does. Aside from a point spread or a total, or, we have our good friends at Bell Lifestyle Products, but of course, people like Joan Sarro, who joins us all the way from beautiful Calgary, Alberta. How you doing, Joan?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm actually really good. Aside from the weirdness of our world, and I turn on the news and go, "What country is this?"
Yeah,
It's a very confusing time. And look, as much as we're going to talk about uh, the heart month and the health of our heart and things that we can do, the one thing that's very evident about this world with all these varying opinions, there's real political unrest, there's the difference of opinions just everywhere. It does affect people's bodies and how we live. And we know that with, mental health and anxieties, this cannot be good for people. I know of certain circumstances within my own circles where it's been very detrimental. And a part of that, even though we're going to talk about the heart, a lot of it just has to do with our physical well-being, what we're able to take, and sometimes our inability to take it, which gets you into physical problems. It's I'm not sure how to describe it, but I think for what you do for a living, you must be seeing a lot of people who are struggling simply because the climate of the world really impedes sometimes how good we are in terms of our personal health.
absolutely. I mean, there's so much stress right now, um, for various different reasons, and it can be hard in times of stress to take care of ourselves, to eat properly. And we talk about a lot of different body systems when I'm on the show, things that can go wrong, how everything functions together. And obviously, if we're stressed out, if we're not eating well, if we're not taking care of ourselves, exercising, worrying constantly, fighting this, that, or the other thing, or, some of us that are sitting back watching it all going, wow, um, really? Wow. I say
Yeah,
that a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Um, we internalize a lot of that, and it will impact our health. Sometimes it's not obvious. And with something like heart health, we think of more of the traumatic side of things, like having a heart attack, but there are a lot of things that have to happen in order for a big event like that to take place, which hopefully we can prevent. And of course, just like any other health condition, getting a good amount of sleep, trying to minimize stress, eating well is really important for heart health. Hopefully not smoking or minimizing that, exercise, antioxidants, eating good food, all of the common sense stuff. And then working with your doctor when it comes to heart health. I'm a natural health practitioner. I can work with people who have been diagnosed with heart issues, but with something like heart health, it's really important to work with an MD. And, we have a really great healthcare system in Canada. So go see your doctor, get your labs done. If you have a family history, talk to them about that. And a lot of doctors are really great, if you have high cholesterol or heart issues. I'm finding with people, with friends and with clients, often, doctors will recommend diet, lifestyle, and they are open often to decent natural health products that, provide results.
Well, that's
Bells,
one of
right?
yeah, certainly what we're going to talk about here today. And by the numbers, when you start talking about heart issues, they're kind of scary. And if you're a man, even scarier. So men are 2 times more likely to suffer a heart attack than women, and men are newly diagnosed with heart disease about 10 years younger than women. So it's
Yep.
younger, it's more often, and about 1 in 12 Canadian adults aged 20 or over live with diagnosed heart disease. So it's not like 1 in a million. It's not like, well, I probably won't get it. It is high, very high. And so you can look at your lifestyle. I mean, we rarely talk about smoking anymore, I find, because not many people do it. In fact, if you're watching a television show, so it'll have like the little warnings, adult language, nudity, blah, blah, blah. And then it will say, and smoking. I'm like, What because you'll watch a show where the guys' heads are being lopped off, and all this people being burned alive. There's zombies, and they go and smoking, like somehow that's the one that you got to avoid. But it does all those kinds of things, and of course, diet and so on, which sort of gets into a question that very often pops up when it comes to heart health, and that is blood pressure. Your blood pressure, because a lot of people don't quite understand maybe the relationship, but there's a big relationship.
Yeah, so blood pressure, I mean, there's the circulatory system is really complicated, but getting right down to it, the heart is a muscular organ that pumps blood through our circulatory system. Arteries carry blood from the heart to our organs. Veins deliver wastes to part of the body for disposal, carry blood back to the heart. So the pressure of our blood through all of that, you want it, I often talk about like balance or homeostasis. You want everything to be in balance, and high blood pressure can happen for a variety of reasons. The arteries are really, really important to blood pressure, and their walls are really thick, muscular, and elastic when they're healthy. So often as we age, if our diets are poor, the integrity of that can be compromised. And they can get damaged, and cholesterol comes into play when we have arterial damage, and cholesterol travels to the artery to repair it, basically. So they can get congested over time. With that happening, then certain wastes can get stuck to that cholesterol, and then our blood pressure can be affected. We talked before about the kidneys as well. They cleanse our blood, so if those aren't functioning properly, that can create issues with blood pressure. And then stress. Stress is a big factor as well. Our heart rate goes up. Stress and emotional, health can really impact our circulatory systems, all systems in our body. And our blood pressure formula at Bastl number 26, it's a really popular one. Many physicians are quite familiar with it, and pharmacies, and it's provided really great results. People are dependent on it. You have to talk to your doctor if you have high blood pressure and you're on medication, to make sure that is something that is right for you. If you want to reduce medication and stick with the blood pressure formula, really important to talk to your doctor. But that can help reduce cholesterol. There's marine collagen in the formula, which helps to strengthen the arteries. Passion flower is in the formula, not something you commonly will see in a heart formula. It's usually in like a stress or sleep formula, but that will help with, stress that might come into play that might affect blood pressure. And that's why Bell is so great. They look at all the different reasons why someone might have a condition and try and include elements that will deal with all of the different reasons, right? I mean, if you're told you have high blood pressure, it's probably going to stress you out. You might lose sleep over that. So the passion flower will help with that.
Well, it's better knowing than not knowing, I figure, if that's
absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where the medical system and really comes into play, because they just have better tools of diagnostics and, EKGs and all kinds of things that can help you figure out if there is an issue.
Now
paying attention to your body as well.
So in this case, we were talking about the blood pressure formulation combo number 26. Now we also have cholesterol control, because that's also another issue with cholesterol. Now these are, we start talking about blood pressure and cholesterol. This is sometimes, I think, where it does get a little bit confusing, because people are trying to figure out, is there good cholesterol? Is there bad cholesterol? And then, as I said, it's for the layperson who maybe is just, they've hit a certain age, and let's say you're a man that's late 40s, and you're like, should I be worried about some of this stuff? Well, the answer is probably yes. Once you get in that 40 or 50-year-old category, then these are of huge significance, I would suggest.
Yeah, so HDL is our good cholesterol, LDL is our bad. We won't get too much into that, but having a decent amount of healthy cholesterol is really important. And having a balance between the two is good, because as mentioned, cholesterol, helps repair our arteries. It's a precursor to hormones. Cholesterol does a lot of good in our bodies. So having healthy fats is really important. The fear of fat is not a good thing. But having a good amount of omega-3s in our diet really helps to modulate cholesterol. Kind of seems counterintuitive, but our Clear by Bell omega-3 is another really great formula for the heart. I've seen, clients who have had significant changes with cholesterol, with even just balancing the bad fats with the good fats. And it's hard for us to get omega-3s in our diet. We'd probably have to eat, a really good quality salmon on a very regular basis. A lot of people don't, or anchovy sandwiches or whatever.
Yeah,
so
not that popular.
Really
Well, still, like our buddy Dave Bastl, he swears by it. He uses Clear and loves the product. He think it's great.
Yeah, it's a really great product. It's a very high quality fish oil at a good price, and it helps to maintain. I mean, it does a lot of different things. It helps with joint health and a lot of different things, but it can help balance that bad and good cholesterol. Also, just on a diet note, there's some quick tips that can really help people that people don't really sometimes know. So making sure you're cooking with good quality stable oils like olive oil, which is good at moderate heat, and other stable oils that can really retain their integrity at high heats, like coconut oil, avocado oil, and reducing using really common oils like canola and vegetable oil that aren't as chemically stable, and also making sure that your oils stay fresh. So rotating them on a regular basis. Don't have that olive oil sitting in your cupboard for 6 months.
Right.
Make sure you're rotating through. Anything that can cause free radicals in our body can create issues, and that's why antioxidants are really important as well. So a lot of our herbs in our formulas, and including our blood pressure formulation combo, have antioxidants to help clear out the gunk. And our Japanese green tea is another really great product in our heart line. Japanese green tea is a really great antioxidant. It's basically just common sense, eating a balanced diet, lots of fruits and vegetables, drinking things like, Japanese green tea, taking decent herbs to help mitigate the damage. Hopefully you're also doing some lifestyle changes as well with those things. It'll just help everything work better.
Well, I was going to say, this good Italian girl better say something about olive oil, or there's trouble. There's trouble in paradise.
Garlic, olive oil and garlic. Garlic is a pretty significant part of our blood pressure formula. And then I know Doug Carey's going to come on next week to talk about our new heart formula. Mm-hmm. Garlic is in there as well. Other great herbs like hawthorn. But garlic is really important to cholesterol, blood lipid levels, blood pressure, and it's a really important food item for cardiovascular health.
When you look at, like I said, some of these ingredients, and as I said, every second one seems to have oregano in it. So you start looking at olive oil and oregano and garlic. I said, no wonder when you go to Italy and you go to these little villages in the mountains, the average age of these people is like 800. These people live forever up there. And I said, they said, well, what's the, they live right. The food is so important. And the one really amazing thing, I was actually quite shocked by it. A buddy of mine, this is several years ago, who ended up being diagnosed as celiac. And so, at the time I said, oh, you like a lot of celery? No, that's not what it means. And so he said, gluten-free and all this stuff. I said, and they were planning a trip at the time, pre-COVID, just as COVID was hitting. They planned a trip to Italy. And I said, well, good luck with that. I mean, pasta and pizza and breads. I go, you're going to have no chance. What I didn't realize was that in Italy, they were actually front runners, understanding the importance of those kinds of things, that you could find gluten-free, like they had the pastas and the bread and all that in the pharmacies, because they see that as sort of the the essence of life. So they put it where you would go to be healthy, and they put a lot of stuff in the pharmacies. And I never thought, I thought, you get in the mountains and or going to some of these Italian cities and gluten free, would they even know what you're talking about? Well, as a matter of fact, they realized the importance of it. So they were world leaders in that kind of stuff, which just floored me, but it does kind of make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the Italians will find a way around. I mean, we're not going to give up our bread and pasta.
Yeah,
It's just not going to happen.
No,
we got to find ways to work around it. And I mean, I think any Italian likes a good challenge. Also, some people with, obviously not celiac, but some people with sensitivities, when they go to Europe, because just the crops are sometimes better. It doesn't seem to affect people as much. You might have like more mild sensitivities to eat the pasta and bread grown there.
That's interesting. I never thought of that. Yeah, very good. Now I know we got to run, but it's always great to see you. I'm chatting back and forth sometimes with your cugine, with Tony Spalatini. He's just the best. It makes me happy. It makes me happy just seeing his face. Just I see Tony's face. I'm having a good day. So look, you take care. Lovely to see you, and love having you on the show. So, ciao vediamo. Ciao bella. Nice to see you.
Ciao.
Yeah. There you go.
Take care. Bye.
Joan Sarro joined us here for Bell Lifestyle Products. Always a great job.